about pain and then really guide us into a place where that we can do something with it in terms of alchemy. Now, alchemy, it's called Alchemizing Pain tonight. You know, I rarely come in with a subject, but today I did. Because it's dark moon. Alchemy is a very, very interesting thing. A lot of it is fiction. Like a lot of what you read about alchemy, it tends to be a bit fictional. But the most common thread through most alchemical teachings, as well as fiction, is this idea of turning base metals into gold. Now, back in, I believe, the Middle Ages, there were alchemists, professional alchemists. And a lot of them got locked up by the kings and the lords because they wanted them to figure out how to turn base metal into gold to make them rich. Now, obviously, if that had worked, gold would be everywhere. Like, I'm sure there's a planet somewhere where they have no sand, and if they came here, they'd be like, there's sand everywhere! There's a land full of sand! Like, that would be their gold. It's symbolic anyway. Gold, in other words, is a base, as any kind of metal. It doesn't really have any more intrinsic value than lead. We give it that meaning. But in the case of alchemy, the idea of turning base metal like lead into gold is symbolic. There is such a thing called spiritual alchemy. So we all have a percentage of lead and a percentage of gold in our system. Now, again, I'm not talking literally, because if you have lead in your system, you really need to go to a hospital. So we're talking symbolic lead. So let's play with this a little bit. This is all for the mind, so that we can then meditate and leave the mind behind, right? So, just symbolically speaking, we have lead and we have gold. Now, I could put base metal, but I like working with the word lead and gold, because symbolically they work well for what we're going to be talking about. For instance, gold is a conductor of energy. Like, there are certain electronic connections, I think even in computers, that are gold.
There's a lot of connections, a lot of parts in computers is gold.
Because it's a really pure conductor, where lead is an insulator. Superman can't see through it, hence energy cannot pass through it.
X-rays can't go through it.
Yeah.
That's why they use them in doctors' offices.
So we could add to that, lead is fear, gold is love. And most people who are on the spiritual path will agree to that, particularly if you've had any sort of emotional healing work or studied Course in Miracles or something like that, that there are certain circumstances in your life that if you've got more lead than gold, more fear than love, you are going to repel certain experiences from you. Dating. Romance is just the easiest place I could do that in any circumstance. But, you know, we're attracted until they get too close, and then our lead kicks in and we start to retract out of fear. So there's this expansion, contraction. You could even put expansion, contraction. The lead that we're talking about tonight has more to do with pain. Now, you would think then the opposite of pain must be pleasure. But in a spiritual sense, pain and pleasure, yes, are opposites. But you don't alchemize pain into pleasure. You alchemize pain into peace.